Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're going to talk about She-Hulk episode 4. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent, and today we're talking about more She-Hulk. This is episode 4. Yes, Brent, where were you last week? Where have you been? Episode 3, you're skipping it. Well, I'm kind of in this season of this year where I'm going to be out of town a lot. So last year I was just coming back from a trip. I was kind of relaxing. I watched the episode 3, and while I liked it, I was just not in the mood to review it. Thinking about it more and more, I didn't really have a lot of positive things to say. And while I'm not one to shy away from saying negative things on a show or something that I'm reviewing, you can look at some of my other reviews for Hawkeye or anything else like that. Some of my reviews for Why the Last Man didn't like. The last Fables review I didn't like that. I just was kind of bogged down. So been trying to take this week to recover. My voice is finally fully returned. That's nice from being sick with bronchitis at the beginning of August. So a lot of things going on in life. Kids starting back up in school. Just a lot of things going on. That being said, we are back here to talk episode 4. And I have plans to release videos, maybe not 3 or 4 times a week like I was trying to do. But in this season, I'm trying to do 2 a week. One of them will probably be a review for a Marvel show, and the other one will be a comic-related content, something I'm reading. I'm hoping to bank a bunch of stuff this weekend, some overviews, some easy stuff like that I can record and put out for you guys for some comic content. I'm still working on reading stuff. I have 10 issues left of Paper Girls, of the complete compendium that I bought. Another one of these compendiums, I was like, let me just read this because it's going to be a while before I do a video. And then I got stuck on it for 2 weeks. So I hope to finish that up this weekend and have that review up for you in the coming weeks and days. So look for that when it comes out. She-Hulk, episode 4. This was the best episode so far. This is what the show should have been from the beginning, from episode 1, episode 2. There was too much of this, like the last 3 episodes of the snowballing of side characters and side plots and things like that, that this episode really just knocked it out of the park, knocked it home until the ending. And this show doesn't know how to end. Her turning to the camera at the very end of this episode and saying, that's a weird way to end an episode. I bet there's a fun tag. Just kind of took the rug and pulled it out from underneath the show. It had been so good up until then. You had Wong, whom everybody loves, which they recognized in the show. I like the idea that they called it Twitter armor for at least a week. That was very funny. But just Jen dealing with a case every single week, having the case, introducing it, solving it, having the case snowball into something else, and then twisting their arm at the end of this episode, being like, do you accept our terms? And they're like, yes, please don't hurt us. Very, very funny. The B story with her dating, a little weird. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, so I never had to do the swipe dating thing, and never had to do online dating or anything else really for that matter. I'm incredibly lucky to have found the right one right away. But I can't really speak to that experience. So it's amusing to me to see people nowadays do this stuff, and I don't have any grasp on it. So I can't say either way whether that was representative of other people's experience or funny or sad or bad. I don't know. I've never done it. So I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth or in my mouth for that reason because I have no experience with it. But I really did like the structure of this episode, the one storyline all the way through, beginning, middle, ending, problem, solution, complication in the middle, like just really like, wow, why did it take 4 episodes to get here this far? And if they're writing all these episodes at once, why is it taking them, why didn't they write episode 4 and then go look at it and go, wow, this is really strong. We should make the other episodes before this like this. Go back and retool those things because, man, this show really needed this episode to kick things into gear. And I think we're only getting 8 of these. Is that right? So we're halfway through, and we finally found our footing. That's kind of sad. Kind of sad, honestly. But it is kind of quid pro quo for these Marvel shows. I mean, She-Hulk's still wearing oversized men's clothing for her lawyer outfits, and that's kind of sad. Like, she's a lawyer. She should be able to go get some custom jackets if that's what she's got to do, right? Like, come on. Am I willing to bet that she doesn't get her purple outfit until the last episode of this show? Absolutely, because that's a Marvel Disney Plus trope. Other than Moon Knight, everything else has kind of done that, right? So, I don't know. I did like this episode. I thought it's very good. The guy playing the magician, Donnie Blaze, not Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider. This was a different character. I really like that actor. I remember seeing him in Entourage and a couple other things. I think he's incredibly funny and talented, and I really enjoyed seeing him here. Really enjoyed seeing Benedict Wong again come back for the third episode in a row. Aside, maybe the second real appearance, because he had like a little cameo or something in one of the earlier ones. But I really enjoy Benedict Wong in anything he's in. Much less, I really enjoy his portrayal of Wong, the character. I did like the little tag at the end with him on the date with the girl. Is Mephisto confirmed? Was that the GOAT? Was that Mephisto? I don't know. Could have been Blackheart. You never know. I think the name tag on that art piece said Jeff. But I think this show is, like, if they have more episodes like this one and just, push those out every week for the next 4 weeks, I feel like this show will have a better resolution, better reception from me, at least. I know there are other people that are really liking it. For me, it wasn't until this episode that I was like, this is what the show should be. Last episode was kind of there, except that you had everything kind of falling in from the previous episode, following up on. You had the Wrecking Crew show up, and they looked really freaking lame. That was sad. So there's still some issues here with characters. I still think there's some CGI issues. There's a lot of CGI here that really shouldn't be that questionable. And hear me out. So you're watching Moon Knight, you're watching Hawkeye, you're gonna spot some shoddy CGI, certainly. But if you're watching She-Hulk, where the main character is a CGI character, there should be some decision at some point to be like, well, we're going to spend this amount of money per episode, and we need to really focus our energy on the shots where She-Hulk is in frame, right? So maybe they spent more money this episode on some of the action shots with her fighting the demons and things like that, but I really felt like the beginning of the episode where she's in her own office with Wong, they looked really bad. The initial courtroom scene, I thought she looked kind of bad, like just rubbery and just, I don't know, man. It's not working for me all the time. And I think that's a detriment to the show where She-Hulk is supposed to be the main character. It's titled after her. Now, do I want to put Tatiana Maslany in prosthetics and green makeup every single episode? No. Do I think there's probably a better way to do this in season 2, where maybe they hire a taller actress? There is an actress walking around doing reference for the CGI animators. She's putting on green body paint, she's putting on the costume, and she's walking around for them to get reference for. Could you shoot it a little bit differently and just shoot shoulders down this actress whom, is doing all this work for nothing really right now this season? Could you next season use real clothing and that stuff to shoot it if you're shooting her walking and talking with her, her paralegal or something like that? I think you could, absolutely. Would it make the show feel a little bit cheaper? Probably. But if you show She-Hulk in the best way possible, every time you go up to her face and hair, or even if you're just doing like a head replacement. Now, I'm not a CG artist, so I can't say whether one is more work than the other. But is there a way to do that where it feels more real? I think there's a balance in between, these two ideas rather than what they're doing now, which is completely CG, and to the point where I feel like they're skipping steps on the recipe, or they're missing questions on the test in terms of the Uncanny Valley, because there's a lot of Uncanny Valley going on in She-Hulk, and that's a detriment to the show where she is the main character. So I feel like you're going to have a lot of people talk about this show when it's all wrapped up, talking about the CG and how it wasn't really believable, and that's going to hurt the show, honestly. And it's hurting it as you're watching it. So I really enjoyed this episode. This is the best one yet so far for me. Last week was fun, but it just fell flat a little bit. Episode 2 ending so quickly really rubbed me the wrong way. This one, really good up until that, you thought you have a zinger at the end. And I would have just rather not have had that last line of like, I bet there's a fun tag. It just totally killed the momentum for me watching this show, because it was like, oh yeah, that's their formula to get you to like the end of the episode. So I'm interested to see where the show goes. I like Tatiana Maslany. I loved her in Orphan Black. Whether you like this show or not, go watch Orphan Black just for Tatiana Maslany. She plays multiple characters there, using multiple camera tricks, often in the same scene. And it is flawless, seamless, incredible, unbelievable, to where it puts, and that's a Canadian BBC show, right? And that puts this show to shame. And in terms of quality of effects and believableness, and it's a little different. It's just an actress wearing a wig and acting a little bit differently, but her acting there and the way they shot that with motion control all the way through. I watched some behind the scenes stuff on it. It was incredible. Really just shows you how much you can do with a little bit of money and some inventiveness on that show, and then come watch this one where they have all the money in the world with Disney, and you end up with some weird looking CG. So anyway, I say that to say, go watch Orphan Black on any streaming platform you can find that it's on. It's fantastic. It's a great time. She's fantastic. She's wonderful. Whether you like the show or not, if you find her a little bit charming, a little bit cute, a little bit funny, a little bit great, she's all of those things in Orphan Black. There's parts where she's dangerous. There's parts where she's scary, frightening, and sad, and just pathetic. So many different characters in that show. She really deserves better for her career in terms of She-Hulk, because she's so fantastic. She's a fantastic actress. Cannot get over that fact. And for them just to kind of serve her this sloppy CG, really, really sad. So anyway, that's my thoughts on She-Hulk episode number 4. And we will see you guys next time here on BK's Bullets in the Funny Pages. Let me know down below what you thought. Thank you, guys.